Hi everybody, welcome to this video on how to take your Excel workbook to your first Power BI report. So creating your first Power BI report really and how it's done. We are not going to go into details. We're just going to try to get to our target of creating your first Power BI report, and we're going to try and do that in under 10 minutes. And we have a packed agenda for this 10 minutes. We're going to look at the transformations that you can do, just to give you a sample of the transformations you can do in Power Query and Power BI, the visuals that you can create, the slices that you can add, and how that adds life to your dashboard. We also look at the formatting, which will make your dashboard look very crisp and very professional, and then how you share that dashboard slash report with your viewers, your business audience who want to use that to create insights for the business and value for the business. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the video. So now we're going to make our first Power BI report in Power BI Desktop. We just opened Power BI Desktop and we got this pop-up, which we don't need, so we're going to close it. Let's start by loading data into Power BI. For that, we click on Try Sample Data. We say Load Sample Data. So it's trying to load the financial sample.xlx. We are going to select the first sheet here and click on Transform Data. What we're trying to do here is learn the basic transformations that we can do with Power BI Query Editor. There's a lot we can do here. We can change a lot, change values in fields. We can calculate values for missing data. There's a lot basically that can be done, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep the transformations simple, such as changing the column name here, changing the data type for units sold. We're going to click on transform and there pick whole number, because units sold cannot be partial, they have to be whole. We can also do stuff like changing the format of a text column. So we can change this to uppercase by going into format here and clicking on uppercase. You can also filter rows. So let's say you don't want a particular product in your analysis, you go and unclick it, and then you will be able to see that filtered rows are showing here only. So these are all the different transformations you can do. There's a lot that you can do here. We will explore that more in coming videos, but as of now, we'll race back to the report view by closing and applying all these changes in the Power BI query. As you're making changes in the Power BI query, you do get an update here that says there are pending changes. But once the changes all are saved and loaded, this error will go away. So we're just waiting for the new model to load. The next thing that we're going to do now is create a date table in this particular model in order to help us do analysis with time. So we're going to click on a new table option. We're going to go to insert, and in that we're going to go into modeling. So new table sits on the modeling. We click on new table and we put in a formula. So we're giving the table name calendar, and we're going to put in the formula calendar auto. So when you put calendar auto, it automatically picks up the minimum and the maximum date in your data model and creates a date table to accommodate that. So what we can see here is that it has created a date table with the date range, and it has also created a date hierarchy, which allows you to analyze stuff by year, quarter, month, and day. So once we've done that, what we need to do is we need to tie these two tables together using a one-to-many relationship. So for every date that exists once in calendar table, there could be multiple dates that exist in the financials table. So on any one particular date, there could be multiple transactions. So once that relationship has been built, we are now ready to build visuals. Now, on this page, to get started, what we first need is basically the title, and we need it to be a certain font so that it can be viewed from a distance and gets our attention. So we're going to call this report Executive Summary Financials. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Maybe let's make the font bold. Let's reduce the size of the text box. So that's our text box. Now let's add our first visual. The first visual, let's start with a column chart, the most basic of basic visuals. So this is our data pane. Let's pick profit and add that to y-axis. And let's analyze profit by year. So we can see there are 2 years here, 2013, 2014. But let's look at the data by date so that we can get all the dates for which we have data and see how the profit varies by date. So here we go into this drop down and we can pick date. And so now you can see all the individual dates for which we have the data. That's great. So now it might be better to use a line chart here because line charts are more suited for daily sort of analysis. We will change the title and the x-axis title and the y-axis title. You can do all of that here in your analytics formatting pane. And you can explore all of that here, but we're going to just change a few of the things very quickly because we don't have a lot of time. We are doing this in really short time. So now we're going to create another chart for analysis by country. So let's say we want to look at sales by country. And let's pick sales and country. And so this is our sales by country. Let's just quickly change the chart title to sales by country. Now let's create another chart where we look at product and segment analysis. So we're looking at sales and product, sales for product and segment. Let's just take these two charts together side by side. So this will also be a column chart, clustered column chart. And so for this particular one, we will drag sales into the y-axis and we'll drag product and segment. So we put segment in legend and we put product in x-axis. So this is your analysis by product and segment. And now we're going to also quickly edit the title. So now we're going to add a slicer to this report to make it a complete Power BI report. Without a slicer, any Power BI report is incomplete. So let's select slicer widget from the visualization pane here. So let's create a slicer for the date. There are multiple ways to do it. Actually, two ways to do this. Let's select the date option here. It gives you a slicer. You can change the settings and you can change this to from a between list to a vertical list. And that gives you a list of all the dates. And then you can just pick the date for the analysis of that date. I don't think that's very useful in this particular case, but it might be more useful in some other cases. Let's go back to between. The other kind of slicer that you can have is, and let's just create a new one here. I'm just going to go back in order to get rid of all that seems to have happened. So press Control Z there. So now let's get a new slicer from the visualization pane. And let's use the date hierarchy here. So let's add that here. This seems more meaningful to me if I want to do analysis by year or even by quarter. So I just say, just give me analysis for Q1 of 2014. This seems more meaningful. And then if I just want to do select all, I should be able to add that setting in the slicer settings and say show select all or just single select. It's really up to me how I want to roll with this. I think it's meaningful to have select all. And then if you want to just be able to slice by year and month, just get rid of quarter and day here, and you'll just see the year and the month in your slicer. And so with that, we are done with creating a report. Now we just need to spruce up our report and make it nicer looking. So we're going to just show you some of the features. We are going to go into view, which allows you access to multiple Power BI themes. We will pick the theme executive here to make this more professional looking. So this is one of the themes. The other thing we can do is add a colored background to the title so that it stands out. So let's just create this rectangle. Let's just choose a different color for it, a different fill for it. So we go into the shape, we go into the style, and we say just give me just this lighter green. I think that looks really nice. And we're going to just match the shape of this thing. And we're going to say, don't give us any border on this. And we're also going to put this here. And then in terms of the placement, we'll just say send to back. So for that, we just go into the format tab and we say send backward. And further one more time, send backward. Maybe just send to back. And we also need to make this particular text box transparent. So this is where we wrap up our video. We have created a Power BI report, a one-page Power BI report. We have the title here. We have a couple of visuals. We have a map. We have two slices for you to pick from. And now we have also done some formatting, selected a theme. So when it comes to sharing this report, all you need to now do is hit publish, and that will allow you to first save your report and then put it somewhere on Power BI service in one of the workspaces that you choose. So it's doing the thinking, it is asking me to pick a workspace. I will pick my workspace for this particular case and select, and then it will ask me to replace because I've already published this one. I'm calling this my first Power BI. And so now it will go and live in my workspace, and I can use this particular link to go to that Power BI report. And now with that, we wrap up this video. Thank you very much for following along. I hope you enjoy it. Give us feedback on what we can do better next time. Thank you.